Hello everyone, I'm Lauren Kana, and welcome to my last video of Pixelborn gameplay. It's sad to see it go, but Pavel gave us this great tool for as long as he could, and I'm just going to thank that I had this ability to playtest for as long as I did. Anyway, the list that I'm going to be playing is Ruby Sapphire. This is the list that I'm planning on taking to challenges in July. I just really love its power, and I like this version that's playing 4 Brawls and 2 Dragonfires, just against the Steel Emerald decks. They play so many threats, you just need more removal. Other than that, this is a pretty stock list, I guess with the exception of playing 3 McDuck Manor. Locations are just really good right now. People are trimming on Mauis. I'm trimming on Mauis. I'm only playing 3. It just seems like a good time to be a location deck. But other than that, this deck is pretty straightforward. I'll see you for the games. Game 1, playing against Sapphire Steel. We're on the draw. This hand is pretty expensive. Be prepared. Maui, Tamatoa, the second Hiram, they can all go back. Get the Be Prepared back, of course. To develop your brains. Okay. Let's see what my opponent leads off on. They ink a Simba and play a Fortisphere. So we're going to have pretty similar turn 1s. I'm going to ink this Grammatala and play a Popsicle. Draw into a Brawl and pass. Sorry, that was my cat. They ink a Smash and play a Cruella de Vil. Cruella doesn't matter too much for me. It can quest for 1 for a while. I'm not too concerned. This turn is going to be playing 2 Develop Your Brains, so I'm going to start with that before I ink. I'll grab a Tamatoa over a Lucky Dime, but I'm just going to ink it. Or no, first I'll ink this second Fishbone Quill. It's not a card you really need 2 of. Second Develop Your Brain shows a Medusa or a Develop Your Brain. I think I'm going to be able to get to 6 ink pretty easily, so I'm going to take the Medusa. And I'll pass. My opponent plays a second Fortisphere. And a third Fortisphere. They ink a Great Stone Dragon, get their free quest for 1, and pass. Here I'm going to ink this Tamatoa. I'm going to play Fishbone Quill, and I'm going to ink this Sisu. And I'll play Develop Your Brain, grabbing a McDuck Manor. Yeah. And pass. My opponent inks a tiny Tinkerbell. Plays How Far I'll Go. That's another thing that this list is missing. It's only playing 2 How Far I'll Goes, and that card's just powerful. Just banking on McDuck Manor being better. So here I will ink a Tala, Fishbone Quill the Brawl, and just play McDuck Manor. That turns the race into my favor. If my opponent drew into a Hiram, I have this Medusa for it. There we go. I'd like to draw my cards with my Hiram, but for now, just answering their board is fine. They're really playing cards out. I might just be prepared here. Depends what I draw. I think I Fishbone Quill the Medusa, and just play a Be Prepared. And pass. My opponent inks a Baboom, plays a Simba, draws 2 and discards 2. 2 Scepter of Arendelle, interesting. Dime is good. I'm going to start by playing the Hiram, just to draw more cards to find things to ink. 1 jump ahead and Brawl. I will ink the Brawl, play 1 jump ahead. I guess I could have just inked 1 jump ahead with Fishbone Quill, that probably would have been better, but I did what I did. I'll pass. My opponent sings Then Along Came Zeus onto my Hiram, and let the Storm Rage on onto my Hiram. That's fine. I can play Tamatoa next turn, and they just got rid of most of the removal. They deal 5 to my McDuck Manor. Yep, I will play Tamatoa, get back a Popsicle, play a Popsicle, and draw Hiram. So we've got pretty good control of this game, unless they can find a way to remove my Tamatoa. Because this is whenever banishes another character in a challenge. Okay. They ink a Tala, play a Tamatoa of their own, so they're going to try and raise, it looks like. They have more Popsicles than me, so that's going to be in their advantage. But I have to be prepared if things get scary. So there's no item in my discard. So I think I just Hiram, draw 2. I'll play this Fishbone Quill, and then I'll quest with Tamatoa, get back the Popsicle, play the Popsicle, play the Ice Block, and pass. And now I have 5... They have to answer my Tamatoa or my Dime will make this lethal. Okay, so they have Smash into challenge with Simba. We thankfully drew into a Dragonfire to banish their Tamatoa. Though this might be another time to be prepared. My opponent sacks their Popsicle, or banishes their Popsicle to heal Simba, and get the Popsicle back with Tamatoa. They ink a Fortisphere to play the Popsicle. Sisu doesn't quite do it on this board. I'm just gonna quest, banish the Popsicle, draw a Tala and a Maleficent. So instead of Be Preparing, I could Maleficent the Tamatoa, but I think the Simba's a problem too, so I'm just going to go for the Be Prepared. And I will ink 1 jump ahead, ink a Sisu, and play a Tala. Get another dragon, and pass. They play a Tinkerbell and a Benja. What are they going to banish? My Ice Block, okay. I draw another Dragonfire. Just going to start by playing a Maleficent to banish the Tinkerbell. And then I'll quest for one with Tala and pass. They play a Hiram to draw more cards. This is really a back and forth game. I have another dragon and 2 Dragonfires, so I'm feeling okay. Like, a Tamatoa is not going to come down and wreck my day. The Inkaboom. Play Grab Your Swords, sure. And quest for 2. Well, now it's time to Sisu. Just banish their board. And quest for 2 with Maleficent. They play a Cruella and Benja. Benja will banish one of my Fishbone Quills. But that's okay, we don't have Tamatoa or Hiram. And they finish on their hand with a Robin Hood. And they concede. Alright, I'll see you for Game 2. Game 2 against Emerald Steel. We're on the draw this time. We have a Brawl for Diablo. But the rest of this hand is not going to cut it. I'm going to send Sisu, Tamatoa, Sisu, and one of the Talas back. Develop your brain, second Brawl, develop your brain, Fishbone Quill. Okay. It's not the blistering fast hand that I would have liked, but it does things. They ink a Diablo and play a Diablo. So they're setting up to have their best opening, where they can play next turn, play a Bucky, then shift a Diablo. So we have to be ready for that. Waiting on them to pass. There we go. Drew into the Hiram, that's good. I'm going to ink the second Fishbone Quill and play a Develop Your Brain, grabbing an Ice Block. This Sisu's just never going to come up before my hand is empty. And pass. They ink Strength of a Raging Fire. They're not slamming it, so they might not have the obvious play of Bucky into Diablo. They just have the Diablo, no Bucky. Okay. It's a little unfortunate, but we can make it work. They sing Sudden Chill, so here I will discard the other Fishbone Quill, because my next turn is going to be Develop Your Brain into Ice Block. Maleficent's an easy ink, but let's start with Develop Your Brain. I'll grab a Popsicle, because Popsicle represents more cards with Hiram. I'll ink Maleficent, and instead of playing the Ice Block, I'll play the Popsicle. Draw another one. Perfect. Yeah, they get to draw cards off of it, but it is what it is. I'm answering the Diablo next turn. But I probably should have played the Ice Block that turn. They ink another Strength of the Raging Fire. Play another Sit and Chill. This one's gonna send the Tala. And pass. Okay, so I'll ink this second Hiram and play a Brawl. And we're even on cards, even on board. So, despite that Diablo coming down early, it didn't hurt that much. They ink a Pegasus. And play a Flynn. I'm going to, I guess, ink this Popsicle so I can play Hiram. And pass. This Flynn doesn't quest for anything right now. They ink a third Strength of the Raging Fire. So their big removal is getting pretty slim. They'll have one more strength and a couple... Oh, they got my Ice Block. A couple Along Came Zeus was what I was going to say. They did get my Ice Block, though, which means I don't have a good play this turn. Because just playing Hiram with no items isn't great. I don't need to Brawl. I think I just ramp twice. I'll play one jump ahead, and I'll ink a Hiram. Their Flynn can quest for one now, but that's fine. If they drew a third Creeping Shell, it can quest for more. Nope, just one. Let's see what they're going to play. Nothing. So I could Sisu just to clear the Flynn, and that's probably worth it. I think I ink the Brawl and play Sisu. This has been a very back and forth game. They have the Along Came Zeus to answer my Sisu. Grammatala. I'm gonna start with Develop Your Brain. Get a Tamatoa. Lose out on Lucky Dime. I think it's a shame that I can't have both, but I think Tamatoa is more important to have. I'll ink the Tala, and I'll play the Tamatoa. Get back a Popsicle. And pass. My opponent has a beast, so they're going to start drawing cards. But I'm going to start questing for a bunch. Popsicle. Into Popsicle. Into Quill. Is there anything in here? Yep, there's an Ice Block in here. And a Quill. I'll quest with Tamatoa for 4. Get back the Ice Block. And play McDuck Manor. And pass. My opponent gets to draw 2 cards a turn, but we've got a lot of lore on the board. And Tamatoa is really hard for them to deal with. It's basically we don't talk about Bruno and nothing else. And they've already played one We Don't Talk About Bruno. They have an Ursula, which is another way they can start gaining some card advantage. Next turn. Beast goes into McDuck Manor. Okay. I was going to say, that gave me the option of sending Tamatoa into Beast, but I also just can Maui. So I think the play is Hiram, banish a Popsicle, draw 2, quest with Tamatoa, get the popsicle back, play a Maui, and banish the beast. And I'll pass. My opponent sings Let the Storm Rage On twice, which can banish the Maui. Nope, they're just putting 4 damage on Tamatoa. So do they have an Along Came Zeus as well? Grab your swords. That doesn't banish the Tamatoa yet. They ink a Bucky and pass. So we're definitely going to use a Tamatoa on, or a Popsicle on my Tamatoa at some point this turn. Just going to start by playing some items. Ice Block. I'm going to I'm going to activate my Popsicle on Tamatoa. Then I'm going to quest with Tamatoa. Get back the Popsicle. And here I think I ink one of these jump aheads and play Tamatoa. Get back a Fishbone Quill. I should have quested with Hiram first, because then I could have got back a Popsicle. And they concede. So, little misplay right there at the end, but it was so far ahead it didn't matter. I'll see you for Game 3. Game 3, playing against Ruby Amber. Probably against Mufasa. Against Mufasa, I think I just want to do my game plan. So, I actually really like this hand except for the Dragonfire. Yeah, I'll send the Dragonfire back. Didn't really want the second one jump ahead, but it is what it is. We're on the draw, it looks like. My opponent inks a Julieta and plays a Mulan. I'm going to ink Develop Your Brain, play a Popsicle, draw McDuck Manor, okay, and pass. Next turn, I'm probably going to Popsicle the Mulan, just so they can't draw cards with a Julieta or... They have Gothel too, okay. It's unfortunate, but also unfortunate is that we haven't drawn many Inkables. This does run 22 on Inkables. It runs a lot. But I will one jump ahead here, and then I will Popsicle Mulan. If they have Julieta, they can still get a card off Gothel, but this stops them from getting cards off Gothel and Rapunzel. Or off... They can draw a total of 2 cards off of a Julieta and a Rapunzel, as opposed to the 4 that they could have drawn before. They quest with Mulan, quest with Gothel, they ink a Julieta, and pass. I'm going to ink a Fishbone Quill, play a Fishbone Quill, ink a one jump ahead with Fishbone Quill, play a Popsicle, draw a Popsicle, play that Popsicle as well, draw a Hiram. I think I need to keep these Popsicles now, so they can draw... I don't want them to draw 3 cards. I'm going to hit Gothel with 1 Popsicle. but I'm going to keep the other one for my Hiram. My opponent plays a Sisu, inks a Brawl, and starts questing. I will play a Hiram, banish the Popsicle, ink a Fishbone Quill, ink a Hiram, play Brawl on Mulan, and pass. Oh, they concede. Yeah, I think those Popsicles really threw them off their game plan. So something you can think about is healing their characters, especially against Amber Ruby, is a really good play. Alright, but I'll see you for Game 4. Game 4 against Amber Steel, probably Steel Song. We're on the draw. Brawl is going to be good. Gonna get rid of some of these late game cards. Hope to find something earlier. Second Brawl is okay. This dime is not what I want in my opening hand, but it is what it is. This Fishbone Quill is really important against them because they're a whole new world deck. They ink a World's Greatest Criminal Mind and play a Robin Hood. I will ink a Grammatala and pass. They'll ink a Strength, quest for 1, play a Queen. It's at least something I can play. I will ink a Quill, play an Ice Block, and pass. They ink a Cinderella, shift a big Robin Hood, and quest for 3. So that means I can't Quill this turn because I need to Brawl. I don't want to ink the Quill. I guess I have to ink one of my Brawls. Then I can Ice Block the Robin Hood and Brawl the Robin Hood. And pass. They can't Whole New World this turn, so that's okay. They play an Ursula, who's annoying. I'll ink this Maleficent. Does this have Singer? No. I'll Fishbone Quill. Quill my dime. Play 1 jump. They get to discard my Be Prepared next turn, which is gonna make things hard. But hopefully Hiram can draw some cards and get me out of this. I'm gonna start with Hiram, because if I draw an Inkable or something I want to ink to Fishbone Quill, I can still play a Brawl. I'll ink Maleficent. I'm gonna ink the 1 jump ahead because that's better than discarding it, and I'll Brawl one of the Ursulas. My opponent inks a World's Greatest. Plays Let the Storm Rage on my Hiram, that's fine. Plays another one. Plays a third one? Seriously? They just played them all off the top. That's infuriating. But we have a Tamatoa. Get back an ice block. I guess I have to ink the ice block because Ursula will just make me discard it. They play a Rapunzel for no value. And they start questing. So this Tamatoa is on a challenging duty. Let's start with my Grammatala, though. Grab the Dragonfire because I can play that this turn. Tamatoa, banish Ursula. Dragonfire the Rapunzel. And we've kind of stabilized. I'll pass. They ink a Rapunzel to play a Cinderella. That Cinderella's going to be a problem. I'll start by developing your brain. Medusa just banishes the queen. Yeah, I'll draw the Medusa. Banish the queen. Then I'll quest with my characters. The Cinderella can quest up to 16, but then I can banish it. Can deal 3, 4, 5. Unless they... No, that's the 4 flip this time, Rage On. Just a queen, okay. So I do have to lose my Tamatoa. But I can clear the board. Well, I can clear the Cinderella, play a McDuck Manor, and quest. They're at 16 though, which is a really scary number. They play an Ariel. They find a strength for the Raging Fire. They quest for 1. Cecil's really good here. Banishes both their characters. And then I can quest for 1. I know they have strength with the Raging Fire, and they drew along, and then along came Zeus. They ink the strength. I will play how far I'll go. I'll draw the Hiram. I'll play the Hiram. Banish my Quill. Draw some good cards for next turn. What did my opponent draw? Another, and then along came Zeus. So vanishes my Tala. Nope, just puts 5 on my Hiram. I'll start by playing a Tamatoa. Get back a Fishbone Quill. Ink a Fishbone Quill. Play a Fishbone Quill. Quest. Draw some cards. Quest. And pass. So if I play this Popsicle, we have enough on board to win. 16. Yep, and they concede. That was really stressful. They got out to like a 16-0 start, and we just crawled our way back in. But we are 4-0. Let's see if we can get the undefeated record. Playing against Ruby Amethyst. Going second again. We do have a Popsicle though. And a Hiram and a 1-jump ahead, so we have the perfect curve. I'll send Dime, and I'll just send Dime, I think. Because this Maleficent and Maui can be easily inked. We have a Brawl in case something goes very scary. And how far I'll go will be what we can do after we play the Hiram. opponent inks a fox, plays a followers. I will ink this Maleficent, play a popsicle, pass. My opponent quests, does not draw their card, it doesn't look like. Inks a snake and passes. So this is, I'll ink one of the Brawls. Brawl's not great in this matchup. And play one jump ahead. And pass. My opponent inks a Dolores. Plays a Sisu. So we're on a clock now. Quest of Chernobygs. I'm gonna keep this Maui to maybe banish the Sisu next turn. I will ink the Develop Your Brain. Play a Hiram. Draw 2 cards. Okay, we can definitely answer the Sisu next turn. Assuming they don't bounce it. They ink a Flynn, play a Merlin Rabbit, draw their card. Quest with Chernobog's followers. Do decide to draw the card this turn, that makes sense. Quest of Sisu. And pass. We're a long ways away from this Be Prepared still. I am going to ink another Brawl. This is an 8-4, it'll be a 7-4 if I play Maui. Yeah, I'm just gonna Dragonfire it. And I'll sing how far I'll go with Hiram. Drawing Natala. I already have a Popsicle in my hand, so I don't need this Ice Block. I'll pass. They put 2 damage on my Hiram, then play a Fox. That makes sense, to banish it. We draw a Brawl, which continues to not be helpful in this matchup. I have 7. I'm just going to start with a Popsicle. Drawn to a Lucky Dime. Then I'm going to play a Tala. Grab another Popsicle. Play the Popsicle. Draw another Maui. So now I can ink the second Maui pretty safely. And I'll pass. We're all set up here. They sing Friends. And Medusa Mytala. Second Be Prepared. I don't think I need to be prepared yet. I wish I could play this McDuck Manor, but it would just lose to what's in play. I can get up to 8 ink. I think I just play Maui. Banish the Fox. Ink the Brawl. 1, 3. I could sack both my Popsicles to make Maui safe from Medusa, but I don't think I need to do that. I'd rather have these Popsicles in case I draw a Hiram or a Tamatoa. They play a Dolores Madrigal. Draws them a card because of my exerted Maui. Ink a Pascal, play a Sisu. And we do trade off. So that's a mistake on their part. They could have quested for 1, and then I'd still have to trade off on my turn because I have Reckless. So they could be at 6. Let's see if that ends up mattering. So 7 and 3 power, so that's not helpful. I think I'm just going to play one of my Be Prepareds. And pass. They ink a Maui. Play the rabbit I knew they had. That's okay, I want them to play 2 power characters. It's not a 2 power character. Another Be Prepared. These only quest for 1, so they're only threatening to get to 8. So I think I'm going to play Tala. Grab a Tamatoa. Play McDuck Manor. And pass. They can put 6 damage on McDuck Manor. If they have another fox, they can banish it. They do put 6 on McDuck Manor. Do they have the fox? They have a Flynn Rider. And another Merlin Goat. This looks like a good time for the second Be Prepared. I should have quested for 1 first. I completely missed that. So we should both be at 1 more lore than we are. Let's see who that punishes more. And I'll pass. They play a Magic Broom. And a Crab. I draw a Fishbone Quill. I don't have an Ice Block. Do I have one in here? No. The only ones I've seen I've inked. But I will play a Tamatoa. Get a Popsicle. Ink a Quill. Play a Popsicle. And we can dime next turn, so I'll pass. They banish my McDuck Manor, as expected. They play a Queen's Castle. They're gonna draw a bunch of cards, but I can play a dime. And is there anything in here? So I'll dime first. Then I will Popsicle. If it'll let me. I'll Popsicle the Tamatoa. I'll quest with Tamatoa. Get back the Popsicle. Ink this McDuck Manor. Play the Popsicle. And pass. They get to draw a bunch of cards. But if they can't answer my Tamatoa, I just win next turn. They play a second Queen's Castle, which does not answer Tamatoa. Oh, they have the Be King Undisputed. Okay. So they have 6. They're going to gain 2. 13. They can go up to 19 next turn. They ink a Brawl and pass. The Ice Block is kind of good. I'll play it. I'll Ice Block the Crab. I'll play Sisu. I'll ink Develop Your Brain in order to activate my dime. They gain 4 lore. They have to answer my Sisu. They have a Be Prepared. Okay. So now I have to answer a Queen's Castle or win. If I draw a Tamatoa, I win. Fishbone Quill is not it. Because I can Sisu. Go up to 19, and it is. The one lore I missed means I lost this game. I should have won this game, but losing one lore by not questing before I be prepared lost me the game. I can't believe that. Well, lessons learned. I will see you back at the deck tech and talk about it. Alright, so that was 5 really close games that I won 4 of and should have won the 5th. I'm really happy with this list. The McDuck Manors aren't always good, but when they are, they're great. When you compare them with a Be Prepared, it's very strong. I don't think I would change anything with this list. I really like it. I like the Dragonfires. Only 2 Hafaragos is fine. You know, I wouldn't want to go up more, because 22 Uninkables is already a lot of Uninkables. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this deck. I should have been undefeated, and that's going to bug me, but I'll let it slide. This has been a great last video. I hope you've enjoyed my Pixelborn videos. If you have any suggestions for what I should do going forward, please write them down in the comments. I am going to be thinking about what I can do next, and in the meantime, have a great day.